Hi there, lovely. I did a video the other week about how I'd gotten a diagnosis of osteoarthritis in my knee and decided to buy a house. It's a slightly long story, so I'll put the link in the video below if you want to go and catch up with that part of the story. But up until this time last week, I was full steam ahead buying a house. That's what I was going to do. I was appointments with mortgage brokers, looking at apartments and houses and areas, and I knew where I wanted to live, and I knew that exactly how I wanted things to be. But what I ended up doing was buying a treadmill instead. Just quickly, I know if you're questioning your relationship with alcohol that you are not weak and you're not lacking willpower. There are some things though that I wish somebody had told me before I stopped drinking, and I've put those in a free guide in the description box below. It'll help you get the clarity you need so that you can move forward today. Now, the jump between that state and buying a treadmill involved a set of decisions and changing my mind about things that I know when I was drinking I could never have processed. And even if I had been able to, I certainly wouldn't have been able to do it with the speed that I've been able to sort this out, because it's literally a week and a day since I had the conversation with the mortgage broker. That conversation made me realise that whilst it was financially, it was definitely doable. There was no way it was doable within the comfort zone of how I want to live financially. It just made me feel a bit sick. I got really, I live alone. I have to make sure that everything is right, and put myself in the situation of potentially like having to watch the money every month that I don't have to do now was an absolute no-no for me. And I think that's been something that since I stopped drinking, I've become very sure about my own finances. Like, I know what works for me. I know the cushion and the comfort level that I'm happy to live with. And that conversation, I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. I was so excited. I knew exactly where I wanted to live and what I wanted to live in. And the whole thing just disintegrated on Friday afternoon. So Friday night, I was so disappointed. Drinking me would have sat inside a bottle all weekend for sure. Sober me sat around and just kept telling myself how disappointing it was. I was just like, oh, that's really disappointing. And at the time, I think the disappointment was bigger than any solution that I could find in that moment. So I just sat being disappointed, distracted myself with some Korean drama, and really just sat with it and sort of ignored it, because I just thought, it's been a long week. I've been very busy. I've been hyped up thinking I was going to be moving house, and that's gone for now. And I just thought, go to bed. So that's my answer to most things actually these days, especially if my emotions are a bit in the wrong place and I'm not feeling good. I often find if I go to bed and I get a good night's sleep, I will wake up the next day. Very often, I would say 9 times out of 10, I'll wake up with an answer. And that is exactly what happened. And I sat with my cup of tea on Saturday morning and I thought, okay, if I am definitely not moving house, which I think it's a good decision to make right now. How do I get the exercise that I need when I can't really do it out of my front door here? Long story, watch the other video. But I just sat for a little while and thought, well, I do need to do some exercise. There's lots of things I don't really like, and I think that's something I really enjoy, being sober. I never feel like I have to follow trends and say, well, I like doing yoga lattes or beer yoga. Don't get me started. So there are certain things that I just don't like, and sober me is quite happy to say I don't like it. I don't have to like everything, but I do like walking. Again, the main reason for moving. So I thought, well, if I can't walk outside here because I don't have a lot of time, I can walk in here, hence the treadmill. And as soon as I made the decision and I ordered it and it was done and it was delivered and it's here now, it felt like exactly the right thing that I need to do for the circumstances that I'm in at the minute. Now, do I want to be outside more often? Of course I do. Do I have the time? Nope, I definitely don't. But I can, which is what I've done, place my treadmill in front of my TV beside the patio doors, and I put the patio doors open and I watch a Korean drama and I walk. And it's early days, but it's definitely been the right thing to do. And that's one of the things that I really love about my life now, and I really appreciate about myself now, in that when things are difficult and I'm faced with having to make a decision to make my life better, because that is the only reason I ever make a decision these days. It is always in my best interests. I can do it, and I can do it very, very quickly. Drinking me was utterly incapable of getting from one end of the week to the next and deciding what I was supposed to be wearing every day. Never mind making a decision about moving or buying a house or even buying a treadmill. There is no way I could have coped with any of that because it would have felt too overwhelming. And I know that when you're a midlife woman and you're that little bit older and you're drinking, decision making can feel really challenging because you know consciously that you're struggling to make the decision to stop drinking. So how on earth could you make decisions about more important things like moving house and buying treadmills? And I say more important things because making the decision to give up alcohol, I know if you're in the midst of it, it sounds dismissive of me to say it's easy to do, but I promise you it really is so much easier to make the decision to stop and to stop. Because the really hard thing about being sober is the work that comes after you make the decision. And that's why I've got the membership, because the whole premise of the membership is come to quit, but stay to change and stay there as long as you need to, and then leave to be free. I don't want you in there forever, but I know from the conversations that we're having in there that as much as alcohol is the framework that we're together, but actually most of the stuff that we're talking about is how to handle feeling bad, making decisions, doing things differently because you're sober. That changes the relationship that you have with yourself. And that's where I am. I've made some great decisions over the last 2 weeks. I started out wanting to buy a house. I've now bought a treadmill. Not really much of a comparison, but it is a solution for me that's working for me. And you have those solutions within you as well. And I think it's much easier for you to make the decision to stop. I know many women kind of go around that loop. The hard part, the challenge But actually, the more rewarding part is actually the decisions that you can make while you're sober that change your relationship with yourself. So please come and join us in the membership. It's only $25 a month up until the 1st of October 2026. So we're having a great time in there. We've got weekly meetings. I'll do a monthly workshop and do more as time goes on. But you'd be very welcome to come in and get the support that you need with some amazing women to support you as well. So I hope I'll see you soon. Happy decision making. Lots of love.